Welcome back. Welcome back to Lucid Trading. Hope everybody had a great afternoon. I just came back. I'm wearing new merch. You can see it on my shirt. There we go. New Lucid merch. Yeah, so I ordered like a bunch of new Lucid merch recently, and I'm gonna be wearing that on the stream. Although you can see it's sitting quite a bit lower on my t-shirt. But, you know, from time to time I'll be like, hey, so Lucid Trading merch, link in the description. But yeah, in general, I would say got plenty of merch now. Very happy with it. They look, it looks really good. Got sweaters, hoodies, t-shirts, etc. So yeah, can't be happier. If you want to get the merch, there's a link down below in the description. So check it out. And yeah, welcome back. Let me just welcome everybody back to the stream. Welcome to Walid, Inksane, Dara, Ronaldo, William, X Saint, Don Browning, CT, Taco, Friday, Inu, Abraham, Tach Fam, William, Dante, and Gideon. If I just named you, make sure you smash that like button. I was a little bit later with the stream. Obviously, I'm like 10 minutes late. Because I actually quickly went to my parents' house, got some merch, brought it back home. It took some time, I have to tell you that. Raptor just became a Lucid Explorer. Welcome to the Lucid Gang, to Raptor S233. Cheers. Appreciate it a lot. So, yeah, it seems like the market right now, as we are looking at it, is... it's coming down drastically, I have to say. I mean, many of these stocks were up substantially throughout the day, and they're coming back down now. Especially, I mean, look at AMC. Remember what I said about AMC. I said that AMC was going to be coming back up a substantial bit, you know, from 28 all the way to the 35. It is now looking like AMC is going back down, like I have said, right? So we did predict this. Looks like AMC is going to go down a lot more. C3.ai briefly spiked, came back down right after. Palantir also going down right now. Like I said recently, that short term, Palantir is looking bearish, right? The MACD is heading down. RSI overall also heading down right now. So I think it's going to take some time until that is going to be improving. I would say a couple days, probably by tomorrow. CPI is going to be good. There we go. Just quickly sent the link out to people out there so they can join the current live stream. Yeah, I also got a iPad, a new iPad for the stream. That way I can actually look at the chat. And I'm also going to be using the iPad for when I'm abroad, and also when I need to draw things out for people, for the people that I'm teaching technical analysis for. It's really, really nice to be able to draw stuff on an iPad. I'm going to show you right now. Hold up. So, see if I can actually show you this properly. There we go. This is the iPad. Yeah, that's the green line. The green is being filtered out. Looks kind of funny. This is the iPad. We'll be having that on the side of my laptop. Hopefully it's going to help out with the stream. I think it will. Just place it back. I'm really excited about it because I really don't... I'm not the kind of person that buys expensive things like Apple products. But a good friend convinced me because, you know, it really does help with the stream. It helps with... I feel guilty as hell buying stuff like this. So I'm like trying to convince myself that it's a proper purchase. But it's helpful. It does... I can already, like, see that it helps because I see the live chat on the big screen. And it's very fast. So, hopefully... oh, well. I'll be using that quite frequently, probably. But yeah, that's another update. So new merch. I've got like bunch of t-shirts. I'm gonna show you right now, actually. Let me just quickly grab the merch. By the way, make sure you hit the like button. Come on, let's get it going. Smash that like button if you just joined. I would appreciate that a lot. Let's get to 50 likes right here, right now. Gara, look at NLST Netlist. Yes, Netlist is going up substantially. I own a lot of Netlist. I have bought Netlist at 5.6 and 5.7, and I gotta say, was a very good decision. I am up a substantial amount on Netlist. Very awesome. This is one of the better trades recently. So yeah, Netlist is going up substantially. Bought the dip right here. Very glad I did. Shout out to Rocket Launcher. Shout out to Rocket Launcher. That's gotta say, that's his trade. Hold up. Let's see. Yeah, I think Netlist could come back up to the old $7. Ah, come on, man. We have 150 people watching. We have the like count sitting at 30. Guys, smash the like button. Come on, let's get it going. Let's go. Smash. Right now, we're going to be doing a giveaway very soon. Like I said in the past, I'll be doing a giveaway at 30,000 subscribers. I've got some access merch sitting around here. So it's going to be coming up, hitting when we hit 30,000 subs, which is going to be fairly soon because I'm going to be starting the videos. And once I start uploading videos, hopefully we'll get to that 30K. And we'll do a massive giveaway. It's going to be awesome. Yeah, hit the like. Smash the like right now. So I'm going to show you what I meant with all the merch, right? There's plenty of merch that I got. 1 second. I'm actually, yeah, read the charts. I will read the charts in a second. It's the market's kind of flattening a little bit right now, so I'll use this moment to show some things off, give you guys a little bit of an update, because it does seem like so I think this is the right opportunity as people are getting back from lunch, etc. We're seeing, the markets are going to gradually go up. I'm very, very optimistic. I do think that we're going to see massive moves to the upside here. 1 sec. Alright, just an example of some merch that I got recently. There we go. It's a sweater. Lucid sweater. Here we go. What is this? This is a hoodie, right? It's really cool. That's this Lucid hoodie. There's like plenty more back behind the green screen. It's on the couch. But yeah, that was a quick update. We're gonna go back to stocks now. Back to reading the chart. But I was really excited about that. I actually did. I shared an update about this on the Instagram. So if you are following the Instagram, you would have probably seen that. The red hoodie is sick. Yeah, we have a white hoodie. We got like a purple hoodie. It's pretty awesome. Oh, and there's one more thing I want to show you guys, and this one is absolutely unbelievable. 1 sec. So, you probably know that I am a avid coffee consumer. So I got a Lucid coffee mug. Yeah, and guess what? There's Tesla on it, and then there's Lucid on the side. So I'll be drinking from this coffee mug. I think it's gonna be awesome. So yeah, really happy about that. I think the coffee mugs look really, really good. Not sure if they're really clean from the inside yet. I have to probably clean them. Yeah, I got 2 coffee mugs. We'll be using that on stream. You know what? I'm gonna use it right now. To hell with it, right? I'm gonna put some icy in it. Oh, there we go. Now, cheers everybody to a very bullish stock market. All right, let's see what's happening here. Yeah, so Tesla's down 0.5 percentage point. Tesla's still kind of trending downwards. And I've been saying this for the longest time, that Tesla was going to be consolidating. And then on top of that, we also had bad news coming from China that the domestic production and deliveries were really disappointing. And so that's why Tesla didn't go up much today. It's actually down 0.6%, but the market is green. So that is that. But as we're getting closer to AI Day, and we also have CPI coming up tomorrow, so if CPI is coming down tomorrow, this could definitely mean that Tesla could benefit from this. High-risk stocks, high-multiple stocks, could potentially benefit from that situation. So we're going to have to look closer at that. Say that's probably the most important event for this coming, just the month that's ahead of us for this time. If that CPI is going to be positive, if we have lower CPI, then I've been saying this like every single time, but it's incredibly crucial for it to be lower than last month's CPI. Hey Lucid, how's you shorting Robinhood doing? I actually already got out of the shorting position in the lower mid 50s. Made a killing on that. That's how I was able to purchase a, like an iPad or some merch. I don't like spending money usually. I just let my money in the stock market, but it's a friend actually almost like forced me to buy something because in some sense, I guess it's also nice to have some equipment. And hey, if the market is going down, taking some profits and actually buying some stuff with it, especially with inflation going around, could be a smart idea. Products are getting more expensive. And what are you going to do with that money? Sometimes buy something useful with it. I would say in a responsible manner. But yeah, that's what I did. One sec. Who is supporting high inflation? Who low inflation? One sec. Good for a poll as well. If you can comment on the VIP. What? Tesla is breaking down. Yeah, Tesla's actually coming down substantially. Looks like it. Robinhood is also taking a bit of a beating. We did say that Robinhood was going to come down here. I mean, look at that beautiful arrow to the downside. No surprise there. Yeah, I do think Robinhood is looking attractive at the lower 50s. Gara, it is not bad news. At the start of the quarter, Tesla's exporting more from the Shanghai Gigafactory. Yeah, well, they are exporting more, but what's actually concerning here is that Tesla is not able to make any sales domestically. They're not growing on a domestic basis, so they could be exporting, but they could also be exporting at any other place in the world. So it's kind of a problem that they're not able to sell their vehicles in China. And maybe there's something behind it, maybe the government is actually not allowing Tesla to outgrow the competition. That could be a problem. So this is why a lot of people are now, maybe selling some Tesla stock, taking some profits. It's, quite considerable. It's quite a considerable drop from the last months and last quarters, in terms of like the amount that they're delivering on a domestic basis. We have about roughly 35 minutes left until Power Hour, guys. Make sure you hit the like. I would appreciate that a lot. That'll be awesome. Let me check some of these stocks. Most of these stocks are actually doing fairly bad so far. Interesting. Still going sideways. Let me just check the Russell, right? So the Russell's still been going sideways. That's all we're seeing right now. It doesn't seem like the market is going to go down. I think this is like, it feels like we're halfway there and we're going to see another leg to the upside. At least that's what I'm seeing on the technicals, right? Although volumes have come down considerably, usually what happens, especially if the CPI is going to be positive, we could see a big leg to the upside. Kind of similar to what we saw right here. In fact, I think we could copy that. Copy those candles here. No, I don't want to use this. I want to use this bad boy. So something like this, right? So I wouldn't be surprised if what's coming up for the Russell is for it to just go all the way to the all-time high. I mean, we've seen the Nasdaq go to the all-time high, the S&P, for God's sake, sitting at the all-time high, the Dow Jones sitting at the all-time high. It's just the Russell that's lagging behind. And so we're kind of just waiting for that CPI report to come in here. The RSI is sitting at neutral, yet for the S&P, it's sitting close to overbought. Nasdaq, right around overbought. Dow Jones is flying high as well. So I would not be surprised if, this CPI report is going to be a positive one, and then until pretty much the end of this month, we're going to see a massive rally for growth. But yeah, we don't know the information yet, so we're just... Oh my, look at that. Apple is coming down. That's pretty wild. Yeah, that is really wild. Apple is coming down. Apple was actually up a percentage point today. And then now it's down 0.5%. Which is quite peculiar, to say the least. It's sort of like sold off throughout the day. There we go. All right. And there's like light shining on my face. Let's see if I can... There we go. If CPI is good tomorrow, what stocks would you be... What stocks are the best to buy? I would say growth stocks. The best stocks to be buying... This is not financial advice. Not a financial advisor. Just saying. This is my opinion. I think the best stocks are the stocks that have high multiples, that have a bright future ahead of them in a market that's growing, right? A total addressable market that's growing substantially. A stock that's not burning tons of cash, but it's growing really fast. Those stocks are going to be doing really well. It's a stock like C3.ai, stock like Palantir, the BNGOs, the Nano Dimensions, those stocks are going to be doing quite good. And especially the ones that are oversold, right? So we're talking stocks that are down 50% from the all-time high, that are down 70% from the all-time high. Those stocks are the gems that you want to be looking at, because when we have slowing CPI, when we have lower inflation, then the fear of rates going up substantially, or like a early, a early rate increase from the Fed, that fear is going to wear off, and we're going to see hedge funds and institutions, likewise, like both of these components of the markets, are going to pour lots of cash into the stocks that are oversold. They're going to buy the dip, essentially. And, in some sense, we've already seen this happen, right? So we've seen... Hold up. In some sense, we've already seen, like, for example... Palantir went up from just recently, right? 2 weeks before the CPI, so right around here, was sitting at 21. Guess what? It went up 11%. So that doesn't happen just randomly. There's a good reason this is happening. It's potentially in anticipation of a better CPI report. Same with many other stocks out there. I would say C3.ai is kind of an exception, but even C3.ai, it went up a couple of percentage points. We have stocks like Virgin Galactic. Look what happened to Virgin Galactic. Went up substantially, and that's also for earnings, of course. But there's many growth stocks that are actually coming back up, slowly but steadily recovering to the upside. Hold up, what? Virgin Galactic has an investigation? You're kidding me, right? No freaking way. You're kidding me. Where did you guys get that news? Is it from Twitter? I'm gonna check Twitter. Well, hold up. Let me check. I can't find anything. Maybe. Yeah, I can't find anything about Virgin Galactic having an investigation right now. Maybe. Or I'm getting trolled right now. That could also be the case. Yeah, somebody said they like the mug. It is awesome. You should definitely get it. It is great. I customized mine. I put the Tesla logo on it. But normally you get it with the Lucid logo. I just love Tesla, right? It's my favorite brand. So I want to think about Tesla when I'm drinking my coffee, because I'm holding Tesla stock, so to be fair. No, I can't find anything about an investigation with Virgin Galactic. Read it in the news. I have no idea where you get the news, but it's down 11%, so I wouldn't be surprised if it's actually happening. I'm not exactly somebody that follows Virgin Galactic on a daily basis, to be honest, but I do own Virgin Galactic. Nothing on the news. At least not on my... Can't see anything. At least it's not big news, because I can't find it. Shouldn't be that big. I think it's just selling off, you know, prior to CPI after the big move upwards. Why has your stream gone blurry? I don't know. The internet speed is pretty fine. So I think if somebody has a blurry stream, check your own internet connection. I think I fixed the problem on my end. Yahoo Finance. So Yahoo Finance is apparently bearish on Virgin Galactic. Okay then. No, I'm just seeing bullish news on Virgin Galactic. Not seeing anything negative. So, yeah. Posted the news in your Instagram. Let me just check that. I'm actually quite curious. Oh, there we go. Lifts law firm PC announces investigations of Context Logic and Virgin Galactic. It's not going to matter. I don't think it's going to matter. I really don't think it's going to matter. I don't think it's going down because of that reason. I think it's going down because it's just selling off right prior to the... Because if this was a big investigation, it would be all over the news. I don't think it's that big. It's just selling off. People taking profits, right? Yeah, so... let's see. Yeah, we don't have any catalysts coming up for Virgin Galactic, so that's also not really helping. Didi is down 2.4%, still down, right? And I do remember saying that it was going to go down to the 9.3 again. And I think it's going to bounce right off. I truly do think it's going to happen. This is the range it's trading in. Wait, hold up. Let me just briefly check, though. Yeah, it's still looking pretty good. Although the volumes have come down considerably. Obviously, I mean, the IPO had attracted a lot of people to the stock. And as of recently, it's been going lower and lower. You can see the volumes here. It is negligent. People don't buy the stock. Although we're getting very close. We're getting incredibly close to this investigation, you know, the Didi investigation, where the CCP is looking at its cybersecurity requirements. It's almost over, so I'm very optimistic. I think they're going to get their punishment, which could be a fine, up to 2.8 billion, which is a high amount. But I think when it's over, the stock is going to rise as the uncertainty is going to wear off. So this could definitely turn out to be a very positive coming weeks for Didi. Big tech is still negative, right? So we're seeing Amazon going down substantially. I said I was going to go down to the 3,250s. And I think there's more downside coming. Microsoft is down 0.7%. Google is still sitting pretty high. That is kind of interesting that is still the case. After the massive rallies we've seen for Google. I mean, Google just literally almost tripled its market cap over the course of the past months. Not triple, sorry, double. It's just bloody insane. What a machine. Usually, I would say, historically speaking, after a move like this for Google, just over the past months, it seems just highly, highly likely that we're going to be seeing a pullback. And I think it's going to be happening fairly soon. And I'm talking like 10% pullback, at least, back to the 2,450s. And I think when that happens, obviously, the Nasdaq is going to correct as well. We're just going to see a broader pullback in the market, potentially. Let me check the chat. 14 days ago, Yahoo Finance had 7 articles on Virgin Galactic lawsuits. Yeah, I haven't seen any on my end. People, please hit the like button. Yeah, make sure you hit the like. Would appreciate it. Oh boy. Yeah, my chair is actually a little uncomfortable. There we go. Man, what is this? Like, come on, man. Like, can't we have, like, a bullish week for Palantir? Like, this is so frustrating. Like, we know we're going to get awesome earnings. And yet this is happening, right? So, like, right prior to CPI, we're just getting nothing. We had the 5% run up, and now it's just, that's it. I mean, it's unbelievable. It is unbelievable. Palantir has a market cap of 43 billion. Palantir has annual revenues of 1.1 billion. They grow incredibly fast. 45 to 50% on a yearly basis. Snowflake is one of its, side competitors. It has a market cap of 81.4 billion. Annual revenue of 590 million. It's not even the same, right? So that's 2020. First quarter, they had revenues of 228 million. They burned almost all of it, right? So they have a net income of minus 200 million. Yet it has to double the market cap of a Palantir, which I just don't think it's fair. I don't think it makes sense. I think either Palantir's market cap is going to go up significantly, or we're going to see Snowflake come down. Because Snowflake, I mean, just look at this. Palantir, revenue of 341 million, net income of minus 123 million. Better profit margin, right? It's still negative, right? But still growing faster. Well, is it growing faster? Let me check. I don't think that's the case. I think Snowflake is growing faster short term. Yeah, Snowflake is growing faster short term. But who says that's going to last, right? So it just doesn't make sense to me. And this has been a problem for a long time. Nice. AMC CEO just did an interview and announced that AMC will not only accept Bitcoin on the online sales, but also all its concession stands in the US. That's a bloody interesting move. Right. Tesla's coming back up. Like, I wouldn't be surprised that, like, in this market, we would potentially see a big run up in the last hour of the day. I think that could still be possible. I don't know what's happening with AMC lately, but look at this. It ran up to 37, then it proceeded to go down all the way to 32 again, down 15%. So it seems like every spike that we get with AMC, lots of people actually are willing to sell the stock. They want to get out of the stock essentially because maybe they're stuck in the stock or have been stuck in the stock. And that's probably the case here. There we go. We got a €1 donation from Nando Darkersloot. And Nando says, Tattooed Chef, please. Sure, I'll check Tattooed Chef. Thank you for that €1 donation. I'll check it out one sec. Here we go. Yeah, so like I said previously, it looks like there's a resistance, you know, right around the 22.3, 22.4. It could still run up slightly, and then I think it's going to drop right after earnings, potentially back to the 21. And it's going to depend on the CPI. It is going to be depending on earnings. Of course, these are two things that are going to be very variable. We don't know what that's going to be coming in. I think CPI will be positive. But if it's negative, right, it's going to drop plummet like all the way to 20 instantly. I think it's going to be positive. So I think this is going to be the result for it to go back up to 22. Then correct back down for the 21, maybe 20.8 right after earnings if it's not spectacular. Then potentially consolidate, and then I think it's going to rise back up on good CPI, of course, but going back to the all-time highs around 24, 25, etc. So I am a bull on Tattooed Chef, I would say. I do think, who was it? I think it was Jeremy from Financial Education. He covers Tattooed Chef very frequently. I watch his videos from time to time. Yeah, I think Tattooed Chef is doing pretty fine. NLSC is heading to 6.75 guaranteed. Are you sure about that? It seems like it's kind of losing its momentum here. It's kind of heading down slightly, right? But it's still up 12%. I have to say that's a really good result so far for Netlist. Oh boy. There we go. Let me just turn on the lights. Alright, I think that should do. Fantastic. Okay, yeah, we had a massive spike in Nano Dimension. It hit 6.96. The target was around 7.2, 7.4. So it hit the resistance and it came back down instantly. So people are still waiting for that CPI. I mean, I think everybody should definitely tune in tomorrow. I think tomorrow is going to be absolutely wild for the CPI, which... TradingView is lagging on NLST. Yeah, that could be the case. It's a OTC stock, and that could mean that it's actually lagging slightly. Yeah, I can see it in my portfolio up quite a substantial amount. Recovery stocks are recovering. Look at that. Carnival Corp up 4.5%. American Airlines up 3.5, Hilton up 1.9, and this is the classical rotation right prior to CPI. We have the value stocks running, and we have growth still selling off. People are waiting for the news. Like, if the news is going to be good, then we're going to see rallies in growth, pretty much until the, until the next CPI report, obviously, but. Like, we need that sign of confidence. Looks like the dollar is going to come down. Possibly. Oh, never mind. It's still rising. MACD's crossing on a daily chart. You know, short term it might actually cool off a little bit, but it is appreciating, right? So we're seeing the dollar actually gain substantial momentum to the upside. I think it's going to go up a lot more than we think, which just could definitely be a positive thing. I would say for the general market, it's not a positive thing. It could mean that the market's going to correct very soon. Usually when the dollar goes up, that tends to be the case. Iger coming in with a €2 donation and says, Planet 13 true valuation, how about the technicals? Yeah, I could take a look at Planet 13, no problem. Let me take a look at that. I think I have to sneeze. Ugh. All right. That's OTC, right? I think this. Oh, I was wrong on this one. Interesting. I said it was going to go up. It went down instead. Maybe I'm not the right person for this stock then. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, so the stock is sitting at 5.5. It hit the support of $5, which is, you know, a substantial support, right? If we would just grab this horizontal line, that's the support line. We have a big resistance sitting around, pretty much around the $6, right? So lower $6. Let me just flag that, right? So that's the range that it's currently trading in. It's not able to go past 5.7. Yet the daily's positive, so we're kind of waiting for a positive catalyst. Earnings is going to be beginning September, so there's a lot of time left until then. Yeah, and it has a market cap of 0.09 billion. Substantial amounts of revenue growth. Well, there is growth. They're not burning tons of money either. Let me check the weekly chart. Yeah, the stock has gone up a lot. And then in February, it started to just kind of come down. It is down like, how much is it down right now? Still down a lot. Yeah. I think it's going to go back up. With the MACD crossing on the daily chart, you know, RSI sitting neutral. I wouldn't be surprised if we see it go back up to the 6.5 for earnings. That's kind of what I'm looking at right now. That is a substantial resistance. So if earnings is good, it could go past that and we get to the 7. But yeah, short term, I think it looks like it's going to go back to 6.5. Let's see. Stream earlier for the CPI, please. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I will be streaming earlier for the CPI. No problem. I think I'll probably stream 30 minutes prior, 15 to 30 minutes prior to the CPI report so people can join. The CPI report is going to be 8:30 Eastern time in the morning. Make sure you tune in. It's going to be quite important. A lot of these stocks are going to move quite insanely. Like, we're going to see some massive movement. Yeah, for the people that are saying, where's Peru? Peru is having fun in Cancun. Yeah, exactly. He is on his holiday, right? It's the summer holidays. A lot of people are actually on their holiday, which is quite understandable. Yeah, the CPI is 8:30 a.m. It's in the morning. I love it. Like, I have a second screen now where I can see the live chats. It's phenomenal. Fani Yanaswamy coming in with a €5 donation. Fani says, "Hey, hi, can you please check Didi? Thank you." Thank you. Yeah, I'll take a look at Didi. Let's do some proper technical analysis, right? So let's see what's happening right now. So we're seeing it descend down further, right? So it's kind of like this is the pattern that we're seeing, and it's still heading down. It's kind of flattening out right now, finding substantial support at the lower $9. So it's not quite willing to go below $9. That much is what we have seen so far. It's sitting below the 20-day moving average. Volumes have come down a lot. I think that's where we pretty much are seeing the worst case. Volumes have come down significantly. If there's any positive news, we could see a massive spike in volume, and that could trigger a rally above $10 for Didi stock. Now let's locate. Let's just check if there's any new places. Okay, so there's a gap to 11.4. There's a resistance around 10.4, so that is going to be hard to go above of around 10.4 to 10.5. RSI is sitting at neutral levels, and yeah, this is interesting. Looks like we have the MACD still heading down, still crossing downwards, and it's right at that level where if it goes below it, we could just see it free fall potentially below $9. This is the support zone, right? So let's just highlight this. This is the support zone. I'm not seeing a bear flag. I'm actually seeing a bit of a bull flag. So something like this. Right, so it's a bit of a bull flag right now that we're seeing. Well, you could debate, you could say like, hey, it is a bear flag because, well, look at that. That could be a potential bear flag. Depends on the perspective. So I would say CPI is going to have a big influence here. So Didi is also one of the more high-risk stocks right now. And as risk is going to be attractive, Didi will go up in value. If it's not the case, if people don't want risky stocks, it's going to go down in value. Yeah, so the RSI is clearly not oversold. And remember, this stock usually bounces when it's oversold on the RSI. Right now, it's not. I mean, recently when it was neutral, it was just going down and down and down. And that is what's quite evident right now. That is, the MACD is still down, RSI is neutral. There's plenty of room for downfall. But I think it will depend on the report that we're going to get tomorrow. And I still think that that report could be, I think it's probably 80 to 90% probability it's going to be positive. Yeah. So, I'm going to say, darn it. There we go. I am going to say there's a slight chance it'll breach to 9.1. But I think the CPI will be substantially good. It will just rally. It will just rally back up to $10, no problem, short term. And I think once we get news that the actual investigation for Didi is going to be over, it's pretty much going to rally back to, $12, $13. This base level that we had recently, it's just going to return right back to that base level, and then over time it's going to fill the gap to $14.5 and $15, which, if that were to happen over the course of the next month or two, that would be a substantial gain, right? That's a 60% gain. But we're still waiting for that result to be coming out. Yeah, short term, I would definitely say this is going to be what's coming up. If CPI would be horrible, if that's going to be very negative, right, for us, which basically means the CPI is just skyrocketing, it's going to fall back. It's going to fall back down to roughly around $8, which is my average price right now. So hopefully that's not going to be happening. But a lot is going to be dependent on what's going to be happening tomorrow. So we're going to have to definitely cover that. Alrighty. We have 7 minutes left until the market is going to go full on power hour. And we have about 300 people watching, guys. Make sure you smash and obliterate the like button right now. And let me know which stock you want me to take a look at. And we'll take a look at your stock. I am going to be starting a poll. Will Didi hit $15 this month? See what people think about this. Here we go. That's it. We got the poll running right now as we speak. And make sure you hit the like. Like I said, it really does support the live stream and it supports the channel substantially. ZEV, Lucid, FSR, MU. MU's Micron, right? I think I was bearish on this stock? Yeah, I was bearish on this stock. There we go. I said it would be hitting the resistance and then come down substantially. Which it didn't quite hit the resistance, but it's going down. I was bearish short term. The main reason I was bearish is because I think most of the positivity that we had for the chip companies out there it's already priced in. I mean, what do I mean with priced in? Well, look at this. This is Micron going up pretty much 100% between November and April. That is insane, right? So that's a massive rally for a stock like Micron. They have a lot of revenue, and they've been growing substantially. Profits are going up, but the stock went up 100%. I mean, what more do you want from this company? That's an incredible rally. And yeah, I would say they benefited from COVID, and now COVID is slowly dissipating, slowly but steadily, and we're going to be seeing, I would say, lower prices for these kind of stocks. Igerino coming in with another €2 donation. Thank you. Igerino says, "Is your WBA undervalued? How about technicals?" Thank you. Let me take a look at that. All right, let's see. Mark, so I hope you mean the ticker WBA. Yeah, so I would say WBA with a 41.8 billion market cap, wow, that's interesting. What the hell? Oh, retail drugstore chains. Okay, so it's retail. 1.2 billion in profits. Market cap of 41.8 billion. Dividend yield of 4%. Is it undervalued? I mean, just because it has really high revenues doesn't necessarily mean it's undervalued. Maybe they have a lot of, debt. Maybe they have a lot of liabilities and are not able to get rid of those. And, maybe it's not growing. Maybe it's a dying company, right? So just the revenues are not going up. They're staying the same. Yeah, so engaged in the provision of drugstore services that operates through the following segments: retail, pharmacy. I'm just going to take a look at the technicals. I would say there's a good shot because we have dividends coming up. That is going to keep rallying, right? So recently we had dividends as well. Recently in May, and it shot up. It shot up for 5 to 6 percentage points and then dropped right after. We could see that happen again. I mean, it tends to be the case that this stock runs up and it comes down right after dividends. I think what might happen is we might go to a level maybe $50, $49 to $50, and could just drop right after, something like that, and then potentially slowly rally up. I definitely could see that happening. Earnings have been really good, and I think earnings are going to keep on going up, and this trend is going to be continuing short term. So I would say it could definitely benefit from the current inflation that we have. And then just potentially head back up to the all-time highs. Or is that the all-time high? No, it's not the all-time high. Around $55 around October, potentially, right? We're still like in an inflationary environment. Prices are going up, and lots of companies are benefiting from this. And I would say there's a lot of institutions and hedge funds that are actually getting into more value kind of stocks, which is also going to benefit stocks like these. Obviously, this is a dividend stock. It's a value stock. They offer 4% in dividends, which is, it's a great dividend, right? I think it's going to go up. There's 1 minute left until Power Hour. Smash the like button. Let's take a look at these stocks. Me Kevin said CPI will be bad. What do you think? Please don't spam. I don't know. I don't think he knows. I think he has a hunch, and he's just saying what he thinks, and I'm doing the same thing. I'm an optimist. I think it's going to be positive. Oh, oops. That's not the one I wanted to click. Power hour coming in here. Let's go. Let's see if we're going to see some substantial volumes right before the CPI day, which is tomorrow. All right, so I think this power hour could be special. Oh, wow, Netlist is up 13.1%. It is still heading up. We received a €5 donation from Fani Janaswamy, and Fani said, "Hey, G, what's up? Thank you for that donation." Wow, that is just beautiful. Netlist is a beautiful creature. I'll say the price is lagging a little bit behind. What is power hour? Power hour is pretty much the last day, the last hour of the market being open. And yeah, so far so good. Yeah, I'm quite bullish on that list. They have got a couple lawsuits going. Especially the one with Google could be potentially getting them around $3 to $4 billion. I think Netlist is just going to be going to the moon here. I would not be surprised if the stock would double, go to $10 or $15. It's going to be wild. It's one of those stocks that you don't touch for like 6 months and then you take profit. Pretty much. Palantir is up. It is green. That's a good thing, but you know, it's been kind of underwhelming for the time being. It's been rather underwhelming. Gara, Apple is about to break out either up or down. What do you think? I think Apple's going to go down. I think Apple is going to correct to the downside. It's going to go back to the lower 140s, consolidate again, and then head back up to the 150s. But that's currently what's happening, right? So it's failing to go above the 148. That's what we're currently seeing. And we had the dividend, right? So the dividend is already priced in. So next up, I think we're going to see a bit of a correction back to the lower 140s, 143, 140. Let's say 143, 142. As we don't have any short-term catalysts. Well, I think maybe CPI going up could potentially mean that Apple could go up, but right now, not so sure about that. I don't think that's going to happen, right? So I don't think CPI is going to be going up. I really doubt it. Just hold Netlist and chill. Right, exactly. Netlist and chill. That's the new meme, right? Netlist and chill. Pretty much. Like this, it's not financial advice, by the way. Don't do what I'm doing right now. This is my opinion. I think Netlist could go up substantially if they're going to get their way in court. They're suing Google. They're suing some companies that, you know, use their intellectual property, rightfully so. And now they're going to be reaping the benefits from this, you know, years later. And they could definitely, you know, get a couple billion out of it. And right now the market cap is just one single billion, right? Sitting at a market cap of 1.4 billion. Hey, if they get 3 billion, I mean, that could potentially mean that the market cap could be sitting triple of what it's currently sitting at. So that it could go to $15, maybe even $20. It's going to take some time, though. It's going to be wild. Yeah, they're going to get royalties. It's going to be incredible. They even made a site. They literally made a site. Hold up. Let me check. What was the site called again? Okay, so, yeah, there we go. I'm going to show you right now. Just let me share my screen. Hold up. There is a site that it's called GoogleCheatedNetlist.com. And it just explains the whole story. So if you want to know the story of Netlist, there is a link. Well, there's not a link. GoogleCheatedNetlist.com. You can see why Netlist is going up so much and what's happening with Google and Netlist. But this is one of the main reasons I'm bullish on it. You should read it. It's really good. It takes a long time to read, though, so we're not going to do that right now. But yeah, it's worthwhile to read because I think it is an opportunity. But yeah, I find it kind of hilarious that they made a website for it. I've actually told the story before. I have told the story before, so unfortunately I'm not going to be reading it every single day. Wow, Lucid Motors actually went up 4.2%. I mean, they did expect a bit of a jump to the 25. It hit 25.2, to be fair. But it's kind of not able to stand at that kind of ranking. Can you check Donald took a route? Gara, where do you think mRNA is heading to? Yeah, mRNA is right now a very, very popular stock. Everybody's talking about it. You know, it's all over Robinhood. Or it's all over Wall Street Bets. I think it's going to correct. I think it's going to come back to the trend line. It's going to come back to the trend line and probably come back to $400 right now. So it's a 10 to 15% correction. It's been running up substantially, right? So it's going to give back. It's overbought. It's just flying incredibly high. Even on the daily chart, look at that. It's just, wow. I think it's going to come back. Potentially consolidate for a bit, but it's going to come back. I said it was going to fall right after it hit $500. It's now sitting at 460, so it's already down like 8%. Look at that. So it's going into the right direction. It should correct right now. Makes a lot of sense. Frankly, that's a lot of capital that's being freed. That capital is going to go somewhere. It could potentially go to growth stocks, you know. Who knows, like, if we have, you know, lower CPI tomorrow, lots of capital could be going to growth stocks. Yeah, by the way, I have a white shirt with Lucid on it. It's one of the pieces of merch that I have right now. I actually ordered some merch like I think it was 1.5 weeks ago, and it arrived, and I picked it up. It's just beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's very comfortable. Looks pretty good. So I will be wearing the Lucid merch from now on the streams. I've got plenty to be wearing, so no excuses there. One moment. Let me just quickly check what's happening with Coinbase. It seems like Coinbase hit 265 and jumped afterwards. I think it's going to fall more right after earnings. Potentially fall back to 250. If earnings are not going to be substantially better than what we've seen, or at least on the same level. One moment. There we go. Yeah, the 10-year spiking like a massive amount right here. I mean, just a week prior to CPI, the 10-year has gone up 18.4%. And that is in anticipation of potentially higher inflation. So that's kind of, you know, that's what the market is telling us right now. Like, it could potentially be bad. And if it is bad, right, if the CPI is bad, it could spike all the way up to 1.5 if it's bad. Which, you know, if higher CPI would be bad. If it's lower, if it's actually a little bit lower, then I do think we're going to see a bit of a sell-off. Well, not a sell-off, but, you know, interest rates, you know, yield could come down, potentially. Back to this baseline that we had, around 1.25. And that would be, you know, a drop of like 6.7%. Apple's about to break down. Yeah, I do think so. There we go. Netlist isn't able to go up more than they currently has. Wow, look, Virgin Galactic is down 11.2%. Ooh. And it's still going down. That's interesting. Looks like the daily's about to cross to the downside too on the MACD. Let me check if there's some bad news on the news. No, there's nothing really significant. Nothing really significant going on. It's just going down because it's going down. You know, people are selling their stock. I think my theory is that a lot of the Wall Street Bets folks, they actually own Virgin Galactic. They own AMC. They own GME. And when AMC comes down, right? So AMC is right here. AMC is down 5.8%. In fact, it was down a lot more because, you know, it was up like 10 or 15% at some point. So it's down like 20% from the top. That causes other stocks to go down. That could cause a Robinhood to go down. It could cause Virgin Galactic to go down. I don't think it's a coincidence that they are down. But look at the market. The market is up. The Russell's up 0.2%. The S&P is up. And the NASDAQ right now pulling back. Rightfully so. The NASDAQ is pulling back 0.5 percentage points. We're seeing big tech just across the board selling off. That's a lot of capital that's being freed up that could potentially go to growth stocks if CPI is going to be good here. So we're just waiting for that. Like I'm really nervous. Like, oh, this is going to be an interesting time. Let me just pour some more iced tea into this cup. It's gonna be nice. You gotta stay hydrated, eh? It's really warm weather. Temperatures are soaring at the moment. Yeah, this is pretty much my favorite mug ever. That's why. It is awesome. I'm going to preserve that for the next decades. I don't think it's going to be preserved for the next decades, but I will try. It is awesome. Yeah, recovery stocks are up. Value stocks are up. The Dow Jones is up. Financials are up. Obviously, when the 10-year is jumping, that is going to be benefiting the financial stocks out there. But yeah, I've said this in the past. I am 40% cash, 60% stocks. Because stocks are sitting quite high. We have indices just floating around at all-time highs with PE ratios that are comparable to the .com or at least similar. So I've got lots of just cash laying around, just lots of capital ready to be deployed. I'm kind of waiting for a dip right now for many of these companies. I'll say short term, that's not going to happen, especially if CPI is going to be coming in lower. We could see a bit of a spike, but I think in the month of September, that's usually the month you want to do some shopping. Tends to be a negative month for stocks. Cyclically, seasonally, year over year, pretty much. I asked the question, will Didi stock hit $15 this month? 29% of people said yes. 63% of people said no. It's a lot of people saying no here. 8% of people think it's going to get delisted. Damn, that is interesting. Anyway, bit of a toilet break. Gonna have to go to the toilet. I've been drinking way too much of this iced tea. I'll be back in a second, so stay tuned. We'll put on a little bit of music in the background. Let's just get that going. And we're just going to take a look at the 1 minute for Palantir. Right, so I think that would be exciting. See what happens. I'll be back in a second. Stay where you are. Smash the like button. Smash the like button if you haven't done that yet. Would appreciate that a lot. So I'll be back in a sec. Cheers. All right. I am back. Hope you guys didn't miss me too much. Let's see. We have about 45 minutes. That's quite some time. A big chunk of time, potentially for a big chunk of upside, maybe. So far, it's been a little disappointing, I have to say. A little bit disappointment. Just some stocks up a little bit, but I'm also seeing a lot of red. You know, big tech heading down. Netlist is coming down as well right now. Let's take a look at the 30 minutes. It hit the resistance of 645, well, 6.45. Coming back right after. It could consolidate at the 6.1. Didi is down 2.5%. So, yeah. That's kind of interesting to look at. Gara, please explain CPI for some. I see, don't understand it. Right, so... Okay, let me just give you a bit of a explanation. So CPI going up is an indication of inflation, right? So it's a bit of an indication of inflation, which basically means that the purchasing power of customers, consumers, is going down. Usually when that happens, it tends to be a good thing for stocks because it means that the dollar is weakening slightly. You know, it means that the dollar, in comparison to commodities and stocks and equities, is becoming cheaper. So everything else is going up. You know, we saw Bitcoin going up. We saw gold went up. The stock market went up substantially because of inflation. This also benefits the growth stocks in some ways. But when we have inflation, and when inflation expectations go up, that generally means that in order to break even, in order for you to make an investment and break even, because inflation is eating up your money, let's say you have an inflation rate of 2%, well, guess what? You need to have a yield of 2% to break even, to maintain your purchasing power. When that happens, well, bonds is basically debt that you're buying from the government or, you know, from corporations. They have a certain yield as well. Now, we have the 10-year treasury that has, right now you can see it has a yield of 1.34. So when you buy a bond, that's basically you getting a return of 1.34. But if inflation is significantly higher, then people are not going to be buying bonds. When people don't buy bonds, yields are going to go up. It's the inverse relationship. Price of bonds go up, which means when people buy bonds, yields go down. When people sell bonds, yields go up. Now, the problematic thing here is that a lot of loans are based off of the 10-year yield. And looking at the 10-year yield, right? So the rate at its, you know, the rate that it's standing at, it's going to decide for the most part how much of a rate you're going to pay on a loan. So if the rate is very low, then the loans are very cheap. You don't have to pay as much. And if the loans, and if the rate is very high, you have to pay a lot of money in order to loan money, in order to borrow money. So you can borrow less money. So that is the idea, right? When there's higher inflation, there's a high probability that the 10-year is going to go up, that yields are going to go up. When yields go up, borrowing becomes difficult. It becomes more difficult. It's going to become more, it's going to be inaccessible for a lot of companies. And here comes the problem. A lot of growth companies out there are burning a lot of money. And they're allowed to do this because we are in a low yield environment. We are in a low rate environment. This is why they're allowed to do this. Low rates means they can borrow money. Because they can borrow so much money, they become attractive opportunities because yields are low. So people, governments, they're giving very low yield. Big corporations, big investment funds, big hedge funds, they want to find yield. So they're desperate for some yield. They buy growth stocks. Growth stocks go up in value. As they go up in value, they can offer more shares and get more capital. This benefits those stocks, and it kind of works that way. So it's a positive cycle. Growth stocks go up as yields are low. But we're in this situation right now where tomorrow we're going to have CPI. The CPI report is going to come out. If inflation is indeed going up, then high-risk stocks, companies that are very reliant on low yields, are going to sell off. Because obviously, they're not going to be able to finance their business long-term with higher yields coming up. And that's what the fear is. And that is exactly why we have seen, remember what happened in February, right? February until April, that was a massive, absolutely massive spike in the 10-year yield. It went from 1 to all the way up to 1.7. And guess what happened? I'll just show you right now. It's very easy, right? Even Tesla, right? So Tesla, big market cap, also high-risk stock. This is February. This is Tesla going from February until March, down 35%. And now let's take a look at Palantir. What happened to Palantir? Oh, this is February, right? Mid-February, down 50%. AI. What happened to AI? We all remember what happened. February until now, until April. This is March, right? So April, in this zone, down 66.5%. And that's all because these companies are very reliant on cheap money in order to grow very fast, scale very fast, and have as much of an impact. Now, when that becomes more expensive, when they have no means of getting cheap loans, when it becomes more expensive, the stock price is going to be discounted into the future. They can't be sitting at these high valuations. They're not going to be able to maintain the high multiples. The calculations are not going to work out. And this is why it's important. I hope I was able to explain it properly. Let me know if you have any questions at all, and I will try to answer. But this is why it's very important that the CPI report is going to be lower and inflecting downwards, so that it becomes easier for these companies to frankly survive over the long term, because they burn a lot of money and they need to be able to borrow money at a cheap rate, else they won't be able to grow fast. If you look at the 10-year yield, though, it's still the lowest it's ever been. Yeah, that's true. It's sitting pretty low. Look at the monthly, right? So we look at the monthly chart. It's very evident. I mean, it's incredible. It's the lowest it's ever been still, and it's gonna keep on going down. The trend is downwards. I would say when the Fed fund rate is gonna be coming in, like when the Fed is gonna raise rates, things are gonna change a bit. But for the coming 6 months, I think we're gonna be fine. I don't think we're gonna see substantial raises in rate, unless CPI is gonna be going up from here. Which means if we see consecutive month over month higher CPI, the 10-year is gonna keep going up. What is your favorite kind of ice cream? C3.ai. So, hopefully everybody understands this. It can be a complex subject if you don't know much about it. Like, you have to look up the individual terms, like the separate terms, and translate it to normal language. All right, let's see. Trading 212. Yeah, today is not really good. So far, at least, a little bit disappointing. Wow, that's unbelievable. Look at the AMC. AMC just going down massively. Absolutely freaking massively. Gara, are you drinking coffee or water? I am drinking some iced tea. That is usually what I drink when the markets are going down. And by the way, this is like a kind of like a TLDR. If CPI goes up, then stocks go down. Growth stocks go down. If CPI is down, growth stocks go up. Growth stocks are going to go up. So that's a TLDR. And the CPI is going to be coming out tomorrow. If it's below the 0.9, that would be good. Okay. Hopefully you're going to be able to sleep. I hope so as well. I'm like, how am I going to be able to sleep when I have like a new iPad? Like, it's going to be very difficult to sleep. It's going to watch Netflix all night, you know what I mean? What would I even watch on Netflix? You know, like Wolf of Wall Street or something. What is your favorite series on Netflix? And let me take a look at Netflix stock. I'm actually quite bearish on Netflix stock. You can see it right here. I think it's going to go down. Yeah, if we take a look at Netflix on the weekly chart, it's at a crossroads. But when you take a look at the monthly chart, it's a different story. It's clearly heading down. Clearly, we got the MACD heading down. RSI is still pretty high. Volumes are going down substantially. Look at that. Volumes are down. Nobody cares about Netflix anymore, unless they start like doing some stuff, like some new things. But I think Netflix is going to come back to the 430s, the lower 400s. Yeah, the CPI report is going to be coming in at 8:30 a.m. Let's see. Well, Better Call Saul. I like Better Call Saul. It's pretty good. Narcos. Watched Narcos. Breaking Bad. It's pretty good too. I think I already. I've pretty much watched all of these back in the day, right? Just a couple years ago. I was a bit of a Netflix geek. Used to watch all these shows. But, you know, when you grow older, you just don't really have time for that. Let's see. Palantir is... Yeah, we have about 29 minutes left. And actually want to give an opportunity to the Lucid members, to the Lucid gang, to the people out there that are a member, to ask me questions. So don't mind if I do. The member mode has been activated. If you're a member, ask me right away. Ask me any question. Let me just grab my iPad while I'm doing this. Alright, let's see. Member mode is on. That's pretty wild. It's pretty funny. You can use this bad boy as like a laptop and a tablet. That's kind of funny. I'm not used to that kind of technology. Gara, why do you hate me? You know, I won that mug on Friday. You didn't win anything. Better luck next time. Cobra Kai Netflix. I've never watched that, actually. Never, ever. Let's see if I can... What do you think about NVTA? Let me take a look at NVTA right now. Hold up. Invitae Corporation. I'm pretty sure I covered this back in the day. I don't know what I said about it, but I think I was bearish on this. 5.4 billion. Lots of cash burn, right? So clearly lots of cash burn, burning more than they receive. And I've said this in the past, but these companies that are burning so much cash in this current environment are not going to do that well. At least their stock are not going to prosper as much. Bad earnings recently as well. And this is sort of a bottom, right? So the support zone. I think it's going to swing back up. Mainly because I think the CPI is going to be positive. That's the only reason that I think it's going to swing back up to, you know, the 30s. Bit of a 10% move could be coming up here. But obviously, if CPI is going to be bad, it's going to keep going down. Didi price target if robo-taxis come out in 2022 in China. It's going to be above 20. Straight up, above $20. It's going to be worth a lot more. In fact, what could happen is they could partner with a Neo or like any of the Chinese companies that are out there. And I think Didi is going to be absolutely massive. It's going to become a behemoth. If it's already a behemoth, it's just not priced. It's currently just not priced as a behemoth. It should be sitting at like $20, I think. But, you know, we have the controversial stuff going on with the Chinese government. You know, the CCP is cracking down on it, blah, blah, blah. That is going to be resolved very soon. And when it does get resolved, the stock is going to fly incredibly high. One of the main reasons that I'm holding it right now, so... can we expect more giveaways in the future? Yes, of course. I will be giving away merch. There's going to be a lot of giveaways down the road. I do want people to own merch, you know. And sometimes stocks go up substantially. I'm like, I'm going to donate some to charity. I'm going to give some merch away as well. I do think it's important. Like, I'm not a Mother Teresa person, but still, I think when you have a lot of profit in the stock market, you know, donating some to charity, you know, like COVID relief or something that helps out other people is quite a good idea. And I would say, like, aside from that, I would, you know, donate some merch to the people that support the channel, to you guys that have been here since the start. I think it's only fair. So yeah, there will be more giveaways. There's going to be a giveaway when the channel is going to be hitting 30,000 subs. When it's going to hit that, I mean, it's going to depend on when I'm going to be making videos, because subscribers really come in when I make videos, and I haven't really been making any recently because I've been really busy with setting up the apartment and a lot of things. But I'll have more time available very soon. What is your outlook on Fiverr? I think Fiverr has gone up substantially while we had the lockdowns and everything, obviously. And what's happening right now with Fiverr is it's sort of... people are realizing that Fiverr has gone up a lot. I mean, look at this. This is Fiverr. That is a substantial move, right? So Fiverr went up 10x. And people are taking profits because obviously they're not going to grow as fast because we're not in a situation where Fiverr is going to prosper the same way it did last year. So I think it's going to go sideways. I honestly think it's just going to maintain its value. I mean, Fiverr is going to keep growing. It's just, once it starts growing, it's going to keep on growing. It's just going to take some time before we see some rallies. So it might bounce back and go back to the 200s, 215. But I do foresee like consolidation to be the main kind of movement. What we're going to be seeing here with Fiverr. So that would be my prediction. Some consolidation. All right, let's see. TNXP from Komat Dang. Let me take a look at that. TNXP. Tonics from... This is probably a small cap, isn't it? We have covered this in the past. I said it was going to bottom out at the 1.09 and then jump upwards to the 1.15. It jumped up to 1.28. That was a 28% move. Proceeded to go down right after. It's been going down ever since. It's a bit of a penny stock, and it has a very small market cap. So I would prefer to just not cover it. I think I'll probably not cover anything below 500 million in market cap. Because especially if the channel starts growing again, yeah, I don't want to be part of any kind of pump and dumps. Let's not do that, right? Yeah, so I'll pass on this. Above 500 million market cap, I'll cover it, but below that, I think it's becoming risky. It went below that market cap, right? So, one sec. There we go. Any idea on Root? Yeah, I've seen Root like quite frequently in the chat. Root has gone down quite a bit. Finance, insurance, brokers, services. Interesting. 1.75 billion in market cap. It's been just going down, right? I remember covering this. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Yeah, so I have said that this was going to go down in June. So I was very bearish on this. I said, hey, it's going to come down substantially right after it tops out. Topped out at 14, and it came back down to the 12th, and it proceeded to just keep going down. Sitting at 6.9, 1.7 billion market cap, annual revenue of 346 million. They're burning a lot of cash. No wonder it's going down with the CPI report coming up tomorrow. It's down 8.5%. But I do think CPI, is probably going to be positive. So, and looking at this trend line, and we have earnings coming up as well. I think it could bounce. I wouldn't be surprised if it bounced back to the 7.3. That could be a bounce of about 5%. So that could happen. And then maybe we'll see a bit of an uptrend. But, this could also have gone down because of fundamental reasons. Because, this stock has been down from the all-time high 52%, right? So that happened fairly recently in just a 1 month time. It's pretty wild. Yeah, I do think it could reverse back if CPI is going to be positive. But yeah, short-term target around 7.3. If CPI is indeed going to be positive for us here, if CPI is actually inflecting down, I think it's going to gradually go back to $8 at the end of this month. With the current technicals, right? That's, I would say, fairly doable. So, yeah, the RSI really low. MACD did cross recently, and it's heading up. Volumes are coming back a little bit. We'll have to see. Right, I am going to be opening up the chat to everybody. That was it for the members. We'll open it up right now. There we go. Fantastic. All right, so did we see any changes? Yeah, pounds are going down again. It is negative. C3.ai was up 2.5%. It's now only up 0.3%. AMC was almost up 15%. It's down 6% now. These are wild upswings and downswings. It's all happening because of that CPI report tomorrow. Lots of uncertainty, and I would say people don't know what's going to happen, right? It's a bit of a factor of, like, we don't know. So it's kind of a wait and see moment for a lot of people. Let me just put this away. But I'm an optimist, and I have seen CPI go down in several countries. And I am convinced it's going to be heading lower. Let's see. Hello, Gara. Can you please check Dash? It's CPI tomorrow, Thursday. CPI is going to be tomorrow. Gara, do a poll for CPI. I am going to do a poll for the CPI in a second. Did you see Didi break down out of its channel? Did it happen? No way. Oh, wow, it did. Yeah, it's happening right now. Didi's going to come back to the 9.1, apparently. It's going to go to the lower levels. It's breaking down as we speak. I am not worried about this. At all. Just we're still waiting for the CCP to back off, head their own way, and leave Didi alone. I think as soon as that happens, some good stuff will be happening. We're waiting for the smoke to clear, essentially. But I've been buying the dip like crazy, so I would say it's not a good signal. That's, you know, kind of below the channel now, below the level that it kind of held, the 9.3. We'll have to see where it bottoms. I think 9.1 is probably where it bottoms out. Short term. And if we have a good CPI result, it could just shoot up back to 9.7 in no time. As it's also a high-risk stock. High-risk stocks are going to yield a lot better with lower CPI. I would love Didi. I would love to buy some Didi at $8. Like, no problem. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think that those times are kind of gone, right? So it already happened. You know, we had a big dip. People bought the dip like crazy. Came back up to 10. Eventually went back to 12.5 in the pre-markets. Then came back down right after the... I think they said that Didi was going to go private. And then they said it was just a rumor and it didn't matter. And then suddenly, you know, it just dropped back down. How does this Apple Pencil work? Does it actually... That's cool. Actually works pretty fine. Can I actually erase things? Oh. Oh well. Darn it. Yeah, your Didi at the current price is still very low. I have Didi at $8. I'm not worried at all. I'm still up something like 15%. I bought a boatload at 7.3. I can tell you that. Yeah, Virgin Galactic is still down 11.6%. That is wild. That is pretty wild. We have 15 minutes until the market closes, and that is going to be it for today. It's been rather disappointing. You know, today started off with a bang of a start. You know, we had Palantir up 2.5%, AI was up 2.5%, and it seemed like it was a dead cat bounce. I mean, at the beginning it seemed like, wow, I mean, is this it? Are people actually expecting CPI to go low? It's just, there's some uncertainty out there, and we're clearly seeing it with the price swings that we've seen. ADA is up 7.3%. Bitcoin has not been going up at all. Negative. Ethereum is negative. But it's still sitting at 45k. That's a substantial amount higher. Gara, is it possible that Alibaba is going to buy Didi? Maybe. It could get acquired, maybe. I think there's a low chance. I think it's going to remain public. I think at Didi, I think they know they're not valued at 40 billion. Didi is at least 100 billion worth. Like, it's a massive company. They've got a lot of customers. It's incredible. I would say the only way that Didi gets acquired is if the Chinese government forces them to be acquired. I think they had like 500 million customers in China. Didi is absolutely wild. Yeah, this is not good. Snowflake down 1.7%. Big tech overall heading down. Let me place the iPad back. It's quite heavy. It is really darn heavy. Oh, there we go. Just quickly stretch. Been sitting for like 2 hours. It's really bad for your back. We have a $5 donation from Masras. Cheers, Masras. Neo and Lucid, but detail please with the Fibonacci chart. Sure. We'll take a look at both of these. Alright, so let's take a look at Lucid first. So I was looking at the technicals. I thought, hey, I mean, it could go up. We have Tesla with AI Day coming up. If Tesla goes up, Lucid's going to go up. And so the Russell's up. This is benefiting, obviously, Lucid Motors. And it, it jumped up quite a sizable amount after it became, I think it was oversold on the daily chart. Yeah, there we go. We saw the MACD go down substantially. It looks like it's crossing to the upside as well. So I think it might actually appreciate further. And if we take a look at the Fibonacci levels, right, so short term, it's returning back to the support line of 24.4. At least it's been resistance in the past, right? But it could use the 24.4, 24.5 as support here. And that would be incredibly nice. And then it could run to the 26. Especially, given that we're going to see Tesla run up substantially. And when the market leader goes up, it tends to carry along the smaller market cap companies with it. So it looks promising short term, but I've said this in the past. I don't think it's going to be quite exciting, mainly due to the fact that we don't have any catalysts, right? So what are they going to announce? They have pretty much nothing to announce right now. So it's kind of swinging on CPI, it's swinging on macro and microeconomic indicators, and it's swinging on potential good news for the bigger cap EV companies or an infrastructure bill. That's carrying the stock right now. And I still think it's going to hit back to, around 25, 26, and sitting at 24.5. If it uses that as support, if CPI is going to come in positive, aka it's going down, then we're going to see the 26 very soon. Possibly by the end of the week, beginning of next week. However, if it's, CPI is going to be going up, I think Lucid Motors is going to sell back all the way potentially to around $20. If it's really, really bad and it's actually heading up the CPI. So it's going to be wild. Tomorrow is going to be an absolute roller coaster. I hope you guys are prepared. You better be prepared. It's gonna be interesting. Man, I haven't really had a lot of food. I noticed it, like my stomach is like killing me. I think I had a stomach ache yesterday. That was horrible. That was absolutely horrible. We have 9 minutes. 9 minutes until the market is going to close. I'm going to ask the almighty question. Do you think that the CPI is actually going to be inflecting downwards tomorrow? Or at least, has it been going down just the past month? Or do you think it's actually heading up? I'm going to ask the question in a poll. Is CPI heading lower month over month for July? Yes. No. Oh, there we go. The same. Okay. There you go. The poll is going to be down below. Make sure you check it out. There we go. You forgot Neo. I'll check Neo in a second. Actually, let's forget Neo. Alright, so 39% of people saying that. Now, 44% of people saying that the CPI is heading lower month over month for July. That is really interesting. Meanwhile, I'm sipping on my with my Lucid trading cup. I don't know what that is. That's probably the company that made it. So 47% of people think that the CPI is going to be lower. 32% say it's going to be higher. And 21% think it's going to be the same. It's probably, I think, my personal opinion is, it's either going to be the same or a little bit lower. Just a little bit lower. That's already good news, right? If that happens, that would be phenomenal. You would see growth stocks just skyrocket on that news. We're gonna see some interesting times coming up. We're gonna see some volatile times coming up. But like I've said before, stocks like Palantir, you know, there's only one way that's gonna go. It's to the absolute freaking moon. I think Palantir is still sitting way cheaper than people think. You know, since there's only 6 minutes left, this is a little bit off topic. Maybe a little weird. Who knows? I mean, it's whatever. I had a dream last night that that I was in a rocket ship to Mars, and this is like 30 years into the future, right? Like a rocket ship to Mars, and I think it was because I watched a video where Elon Musk said that in the future it's going to cost $500,000, $500,000 to go from Earth to Mars and back. So I had a dream about that. I actually was in a rocket ship, went from Earth to Mars and came back. It was an interesting dream. But think about that. That's really insane. That is really insane. Just think about it. Down the road, if you are well off, if you're a millionaire, it's potentially going to be possible to go to Mars and back. This, according to Elon Musk, you know, his deadline's not very accurate, but for $500,000. That is absolutely wild. Just imagine that. You go 6 months to Mars and you take a bit of a trip there, you know. You don't actually go there. Like, you don't want to be on Mars. You want to just have a look at Mars and then come back. That's insane. And that's pretty much our future. At least if things keep going the way they're going with, you know, Virgin Galactic, with SpaceX and Blue Origin, that's where we're headed. To the freaking Mars. Not to Moon, to the Mars. To Mars. Which is wild. Yeah, and I remember one vague little thing. There was this logo on the rocket ship. Just can't remember it. It was like this. There was this C, like this C letter C in white, and then like 3. It was very cryptic, right? So that logo was on the rocket ship, and then .ai. C3.ai to the freaking moon, right? I think AI is looking really awesome at this current price. You know, the last part was just a joke, you know. The last part was just a joke. Don't take it serious. That's wild. Like, what the hell is C3.ai doing in SPCE? You're bloody crazy. Thank you. Cheers to the crazy ones. I mean, I'm crazy enough to be investing in C3.ai, right? Lots of people call me crazy for investing in C3 at 50.8. People call me crazy for investing in Palantir, Tesla, all sorts of stocks. We have 2 more minutes left, and we're going to take a look at Neo. See what Neo's up to. Earnings are coming up. They had lower than expected deliveries, so they're going to have lower earnings as well, most probably. But I think Neo's going to be very, very much affected by CPI, so bit of a double top on the monthly. Weekly chart showing MACD actually crossing downwards. Ooh, this is tough. This is very tough. And earnings going to be reported on the 11th. That is tomorrow on the CPI. So it's pretty much up or down, right? It's like CPI down, Neo up, CPI up, Neo down. Yeah. But since, Neo tends to sell off right after earnings, that is a thing that happens with Neo. And I think they're going to miss this time around. They're going to miss earnings because of the lower deliveries that they had. There's 1 minute left until the market is going to close. It's a very difficult one. You can see it's also consolidating here. It's just kind of... I think Neo's going to go down. I thought it was going to go to the 50s, but, deliveries were kind of bad. I think it might go back down to 42 if earnings is going to be bad. Still, Xpeng and Li Auto are doing better right now, and the battery swap stuff that Neo's onto right now, it's not as good as people are hoping. I think it's gonna sell off for earnings. All right, it is market close time. Let's ring that freaking bell. The market just closed. Market just closed. That was it. That was the market for today. It's been not so interesting. Tomorrow is going to be wild. Make sure you tune in tomorrow. Tomorrow is going to be a day where you have to tune in. The CPI report is going to come out. We're going to see massive movement. Absolutely massive movement. If either CPI is up or down. If it goes sideways, well, the stock market is going to go sideways, right? So if CPI is the same as last month, everything is going to go sideways. That's what I would say about that. We're going to cover that 8:30 a.m. 15 minutes before CPI, 8:15 a.m. I'm going to be live streaming, and we're going to cover the CPI report tomorrow together, and we're going to see if growth stocks are going to finally rally again, or our growth stocks are going to just plummet and crash because of inflation just skyrocketing. Look at Didi going down here, sitting at 9.18, down 3.7%. Hood down 5%. Virgin Galactic down 11%. AMD, Nvidia both down percentage points. Big Tech down. Tesla, Neo, Li Auto, Xpeng all down. Palantir down slightly. AMC just getting slaughtered. Wow, bit of a negative day today, right? Started pretty well. Started pretty good. Sold off throughout the day. 10-year spiking massively. I think a lot is going to be dependent on that CPI. All right. Cheers, everybody. I'm going to be wrapping up the current live stream. Thank you for watching. Check out the Discord community. It is completely free. Make sure you join. We have an Instagram, Twitter, a Patreon. All the links are down below in the description. And if you want to have some merch, if you want to get yourself some merch, there is a link for the merchandise shop, also down below in the description. Have an awesome day. Good luck with trading. We'll be back tomorrow for the CPI report. And once again, make sure you tune in. It's going to be insane. insane. It's going to be absolutely insane. All right, cheers. We'll see you guys tomorrow.